Nile Niami, the developer behind arguably the most fascinating, the most impressive, and the most controversial single-family home ever built, has released a video detailing what is likely his last effort to save his incredible project from public auction. For anybody who has been following this story, you know that we're talking about Nile's 105,000 square foot mega mansion in Bel Air that he has spent the past 10 years of his life trying to build. And while this home is jaw-dropping from a design and an architectural perspective, it has been ridden with controversy over the course of the past year due to Nile falling behind on his mortgage payments. His default has caused the lender to initiate actions to streamline the completion of this project so that they can ultimately sell it at auction versus list it on the market as a traditional sale. In today's video, we are going to do a quick recap on the story for anybody who hasn't been following along, and then we're going to dive into the 8-minute video that Nile Niami just released this past week, which addresses the current reality with this infamous house, and then he goes into detail about exactly what he plans to do to save it. Since about half the people who watch my videos are just discovering my channel for the first time, I'm going to spend just a minute to talk about the backstory on this project first. If you're already up to speed on Nile Niami and this project, The One, just skip ahead like a minute or two. I'll put the timestamp down below as to when we get started talking about this latest update. Anyways, long story short, there's this developer Nile Niami out in California who spent the past 10 years building a 105,000 square foot mega mansion at the top of a mountain in Bel Air that he has famously nicknamed The One. I actually had the opportunity to go tour this home with one of the lead contractors a couple of months back, so as I talk about it today, I'll overlay some of the footage and pictures. This place really is the most incredible home that I have ever seen, and one of the things that makes the house so special is not just that it's massive and architecturally really cool, but it is decked out with every amenity that you can imagine inside. The One has things that you would never expect to see in a regular home, like a state-of-the-art movie theater, a 5,000 square foot master suite that has its own swimming pool. It's got a big 50-car garage with 2 turntables. There's an entertainment wing with a 4-lane bowling alley, and downstairs holds a fully functional nightclub. Nile Niami has been working on this house for about 10 years now, and over the past few years, he has rumored that when he finishes it, he's going to list it for sale for $500 million. If it sold at that price, it would make for the most expensive residential real estate sale in California's history. Well, fast forward to today, and this Bel Air Estate is about 95% completed. It even has the staging furniture installed all throughout the house. Unfortunately though, Nile has fallen behind on the roughly $170 million worth of mortgage and interest payments that he took out in order to build this place. And so the last bit of construction that needs to be done around there has been slowed down almost to a complete stop as the lenders figure out what the next steps are. Everybody who's been following this story closely has been on the edge of their seat wondering how it's going to end. The outcome that the bank was looking for was to foreclose on the home, take back control, and ultimately sell it at auction so they could recoup as much of their money as possible. But the outcome Nile Niami is looking for, on the other hand, is to find a way to come up with $170 million so that he can pay off all of his debts and take back control of the house. He's been throwing around some pretty wild ideas about how he would be able to pull this off, like hosting big boxing matches out in the lawn, or starting a reality TV show that's filmed at the house. And that brings us to his latest update and idea, which we're talking about today, and I think that you guys will agree it's pretty creative, but it's also a little bit out there just like the other ones. Nile started promoting his latest idea on how he plans to save his project, The One, from auction about a week ago on his Instagram, but the messages were pretty cryptic at first.
Hi guys, my name is Nile Niami and I'm the developer of The One, Bel Air. I have been sitting around for 5 months, no posts on Instagram, not letting anyone know where I am, sitting and watching as the lenders tried to take what I had built over the past decade of my life. And now I have decided that I am going to share with the world what my mission statement was and why the secrets that I kept from The One Bel Air so close to my heart, because those secrets are worth billions and billions of dollars. On December 27th at 5:55 Los Angeles time, I will be letting the world understand what I wanted to do with The One.
I was on the edge of my seat wondering what he would be announcing, especially because I've been following this story so closely, so of course I had to set my reminder for 5:55 p.m. on December 27th. Based on the public knowledge of the situation and that Nile is behind on his payments with a lot of big creditors and owes a ton of people a ton of money, I could only assume that what he would be announcing on December 27th would be a way for him to somehow raise about $200 million so that he could pay off all of his creditors and then take back control of the house. The morning of December 27th, Nile posted another update to his Instagram of around 100,000 followers, reminding everybody to watch the One Secrets video later that day.
I want to remind everyone that today, December 27th at 5:55 p.m., we will upload the One Secrets to theonesecrets.com.
Now, I still had no idea what to expect here. I mean, maybe he'd be live streaming something from wherever he was staying, or maybe he'd be posting another interview where he's explaining his situation again. And if you went to the One Secrets website on that day, it just had a countdown at the bottom of the screen leading up to 5:55 p.m., so that didn't give us much of a teaser either. For me, as somebody who's just interested in this story, I have no emotional attachment to what's about to happen here or whatever the latest development is, but I would imagine that the lenders and the real estate agents attached to this place were on the edge of their seat because the last thing that they want is for Nile to say something crazy in this video that he's about to post titled The One Secrets and then further ruin the reputation of the project. Anyways, let's check out the highlights of this video together, but before we do, I just want to give a shout out to the PR company who put this together for Nile. Their company is called Creative Pitch Group. This company deserves recognition because one thing's for sure, they put together a really impressive piece of content. All right, it's time to find out what Nile has to share with us about The One.
Welcome to the One Secrets, where I promised you I was going to give you secrets that were worth billions of dollars. I'm sure once you see this, you will understand and you will be aligned with my thinking. Hopefully there's someone out there that is going to want to walk hand in hand with me into the stratosphere. However, this house will go to auction and this house will be sold to the highest bidder. No doubt about that, unless someone comes in and walks into the stratosphere with me.
All right, so right off the bat, he addresses the fact that this house is scheduled to go to auction. The last reports say that that's happening in January of 2022. It's good to see him acknowledge this because I kind of feel like he's been in denial about that for a while now, but he's also hinting at a business opportunity, I think, when he's talking about somebody going to the stratosphere with him. We'll see.
I have been waiting to tell the world the story of who I am and to explain the struggle of what it took to get the one completed. My name is Nile Niami. I grew up with my mom and my younger sister, Delisha. Then in 2001, I received word that my mother was violently murdered. The murder of my mother was a horrible, difficult thing to deal with, but it made me work harder. House after house, remodel after remodel. I built all of this by myself. I started with nothing, and I climbed and I climbed and I fought every day getting to where I am now.
All right, guys, so I know there's a lot of you out there who give Nile and this project a really hard time, but it's just really hard to hear that that would happen to anybody's mother, and it does kind of explain why he has worked so hard over all of these years to be one of the biggest developers in LA. Now, yes, I'll acknowledge that he's obviously setting us up to sell us something, but that doesn't take away from the fact that what happened to him growing up is really sad.
To create the large, flat 3-acre pad, I had to remove thousands of yards of dirt that could never be done today. To create the lawns and to create the public areas, we had to create a basement that was 50,000 square feet to support the upper levels. It took me 9 years, 6 days a week, with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of machines and hundreds of people and unrelenting faith to get the one erected. You couldn't build the one today ever again in life.
Okay, so I've talked about it here on my channel. I have flipped a ton of homes. I've done ground up construction. I've done some commercial real estate deals, and I can attest that what Nile is saying here is definitely not exaggerated at all. Building a house from the ground up is no joke, and it is especially challenging when you're dealing with a hillside site like where the one is located. Access is a huge pain. You can only imagine having to grade a 3-acre site that's located at the top of a hill where there's only one tiny road to get up there. Shout out to Nile for pulling this off, but an even bigger shout out goes to the contractors who stuck around for this crazy job. Also, like Nile said, a home like this will never be able to be built in Bel Air again, probably not anywhere in Los Angeles actually. There are ordinances in place now that make it impossible to build a house this big again, so that really does make the one of a kind.
8 years ago, I got a call from my friend who I sold a house to, and he told me, Nile, get up. You are going to meet Elon Musk in 1 hour. I met Elon and his girlfriend, but I had no idea that all of those years ago would create an idea that is without any doubt worth billions and billions and billions of dollars.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say it flat out. I don't think I believe this story about Elon Musk. When you watch this video all the way through, it just seems like he randomly threw this Elon Musk bit in here to add some credibility to what he's about to try to sell us. But if Nile actually did meet Elon Musk 8 years ago, and that's where this big idea has come from, then he shouldn't need $200 million from all of us. I mean, Elon Musk is worth like $250 billion, so if this project really is a billion-dollar idea like Nile is saying it is, then why won't Elon Musk just front him the cash to make it happen? Just my 2 cents.
Digital currency that could be backed by actual real estate assets. A digital currency like no other in history. Imagine taking that digital coin and breaking it up into millions of little tiny pieces. And each piece represents a token. You are going to be able to give the world a chance to be part of history.
This is where the vision gets a little bit hard to follow, but I'm somewhat familiar with how cryptocurrency works, so I'll do my best to articulate what I think Nile's getting at here. He's basically saying that he wants to create a new cryptocurrency, just like Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana or Cardano, but instead of it being backed by nothing, the currency would actually be backed by this property. That means that if you own one of these coins, then technically you would own a piece of the one. It's actually a pretty cool concept. It's a lot like how publicly traded companies work. If you think about it, if you own just one share of a company like Amazon, say, then technically you own a small piece of Amazon. So here, if you were to buy one of Nile's new crypto coins, then technically you would own a small piece of the one. But what do you do with that ownership? He gets into that next.
Unlike the Mona Lisa, you have hundreds of things that you could do with the one, from weddings to building businesses, to unveiling new products, to world-changing pay-per-view events, to creating your own pay-per-view platform, to NFTs, and to never before done tokenizing a one-off real estate asset in a digital currency.
So if you buy into one of these, the one cryptocurrency coins, and then the value of the one or the business around the one goes up through all of these pay-per-view events and weddings and stuff like that, then in theory, the value of your cryptocurrency will go up as the value of the one as a company goes up. This isn't something that's been done with crypto or with NFTs as far as I'm aware. And I bet you that down the road, this whole idea of fractional ownership with cryptocurrency in real estate will become a very real thing. But right now, unfortunately, I think that Nile's just a little ahead of his time.
The one is really the one. Hey guys, I hope this made your mind start racing, and I hope that you believe in this as much as I do. There's contact information for me. Please only contact if you are a real individual. Have a great holiday, and thank you again. Bye-bye.
So there you have it, guys. I'm still not 100% clear on what Nile is trying to do here. I can't tell if he's looking for a partner to help him to launch this project, or if the project already exists and he's just looking for a bunch of investors to invest in this coin. But to pull this off successfully, he is going to need to do a ton of promotion and marketing over the next several weeks if he wants to avoid this house going to auction. What Nile needs to do here is basically create a cryptocurrency with a $200 million market cap, and he only has a few weeks to be able to pull this feat off. If you look at the top cryptocurrencies, it's definitely not unrealistic to create a cryptocurrency with a market cap of $200 million, but the logistics of creating the coin and technology in a way where everybody doesn't just lose all of their money is probably much easier said than done. I always have and still do wish this project the best, whether or not Nile pulls this off or not, and I'll be reporting back here on my channel how this story ends, more than likely within the next month or so. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're not already a subscriber so that you get reminded about that update, plus you get to see all of the other videos that I have planned. And before you go, if you could click the thumbs up button as well, that would really help me out a lot. But that's all I've got for you guys this episode, so until next time, see ya!